Stress management, a topic that is very common among the people of all the ages, all the genre. So we are going to speak about it, that how you can manage stress and to cope up with the stress, particularly at the workplace. This is the segment 1. Let's watch.
While we speak of managing stress, there are four questions on the row which come to our mind. When is stress in the workplace good? When not good? And then how do you deal with stress? Coming to the fourth and last segment is that how does stress affect your communication? Is there an effect, or is there a thought that it can affect and it basically does not affect? But let's see different scenarios how it goes with. Tips to manage stress in the moment when you are stressed. So, what we should be doing once we have got four questions in our mind, so we are going to understand that certainly. But before that, let's go about few tips which we are going to talk about. Before we do that, let's have an overview about some general ideas that will be you can try to manage it. The first thing which you can do is recognize when you are stressed. So figure out and understand more about stress. Recognizing the signs of stress and learning about the causes of stress is good when you start something, any task, anything. So identify your stress response. Figure out what you find stressful and helpful. So you could make a wellness action plan as well to map out what causes you stress and what keeps you well. Once you know that best, so you can certainly, as a person, as a individual, you can work on those areas which give you a bit of uncomfortable feel. Bring your senses to the rescue. This is something very important. Like, learn different coping up techniques. So everyone deals with stress in our life differently. So take some time to find methods that work for you. Use them as soon as you start to feel pressure building. Check out the guides, check out on the areas where you can have kind of practicing mindfulness and somehow your own sensory inspirations. Quick stress relief can be a habit also, and practice wherever and wherever you are at that time to cope with it. Use your senses to relieve. What is all about that? Like at times, what happens that few things are very much connecting with you. So somehow keeping a sight, that is one technique is called imaging technique. Imaging technique is that at the time of stress, when you are really unable to figure out that what should I do at that momentary influx, that something is bothering you. Maybe it is the stress of seeing new people, getting to understand something in which is very new to you. So managing those at that helpful scenario would be to go into a scenario which where you felt relaxed. Like imagery is basically one of the technique taken as a meditation, in which you just assume and imagine, like closing your eyes. Not exactly that if you are in a meeting and closing your eyes, that it will be that maybe the person is not attentive and is sleeping or not present at that time, but try to give yourself a kind of an imagination at that time when you are stressed, before approaching any meeting in which you were relaxed, like thinking of a greenery, somehow a lawn, then nature, connecting with the sky. If there is a sky which you can see outside the window, try to gaze at the sky, raise your gaze, extend your gaze to that, and try to keep the calmness in your brain, so that your neurons are a bit relaxed and your thought process works well. So if you are stressed by certain problem at work, you might be alone in this at times. So many of us experience these common stressful situations in the workplace. The important thing is to understand how do you manage. So at times it can be about the workload, so that can be discussed with your team also. You can balance your time. At times we don't balance time, we take longer. I agree with you, even if we are going to talk about it, that to be real on the very realistic side, things are giving us stress in different way. Over here, which senses relief stress I'm talking about, sound leads to the music of any kind, which gives you relaxation in a way that your neurons are bit which were restless are coming on such a pace that where you can think, your thought process is better, so that can help. Then at times there are exercises being done, that soft balls are there for to do that. There are different, even at times putting ice on your on the palm of your hand works well. So these are the things which are the momentary things which you can do to make yourself relieve out of stress. Over here I will pick on two things. You will be thinking about smell, what it is. I give you one example that long time back there was a sitting in one of the restaurant, and this example has been quoted in one of the case studies which I study when I was studying about the senses to relieve stress, how it worked, or how the other side of the picture is, that how this is connected with our feelings, with our thoughts and all. So there was a lady, she was approximately around 70 years of age. She was sitting in a corner table in a restaurant. Suddenly there was a guy, he approached to her and he brought red flowers along with a cake, and he was with this server over there, the waiter you can say, who was at the restaurant. He approached her and very humbly and very nicely he brought that in front of her. Suddenly what happened, that lady started crying bitterly, and it was so strange to see, like we being sitting over there on the other chairs were all amazed and shocked, and we thought that what happened, is it the emotional feel, she's happy, but she was crying, like it was not a happiness, and she just looked at him with not a very happy smile on her face. So we approached one of the person who was sitting in the same, we were there for a meeting, and this was a lunch break basically, when we were there to take our to wind up with our lunch, and we were all having our cup of coffee. So one of the guy who was sitting with us in our team, he approached that lady very very respectfully and tried to condole her that maybe somehow his words are effective and she would be saying, but she was not ready to listen. Then he walked to that guy, the one who served her with the tea along with the cake and alongside the flowers who brought. So he asked that what happened, like I think you took something to calm her and give her a comfortable feel. So what happened? Why is she so upset? So that guy who approached the server, so that waiter or server you can say, said to the person that sir, actually she is our long staying guest. She is staying in one of our rooms for past around 8 months, and today is her birthday. So we thought to surprise her with the birthday cake and the flowers, and offer her a cup of tea as well, because she lives all by herself. Nobody visits her, and she's living for long over here. She hardly comes out of her room, just goes in the morning for a walk and then she's back in her room. So we wanted to give her a feel that we are her family. So in the meanwhile, when we were talking about with her and we were overhearing the talk among two people, that what made her upset. We could see that there was another elderly fellow who walked wearing a jacket and a nicely dressed appearance he had to that lady, and he sat beside the same table on the other chair and asked her that, ma'am, is it okay, what happened, we don't understand, we really apologize. So we could come to know that he was the general manager of that hotel in which the restaurant where we were sitting, the coffee shop basically. So over there, by the talk which everyone was overhearing, so we could come to know that this was her birthday indeed, but red flowers actually reminded her of her mother who passed away long time back, and her mother used to bring the same cake she used to bake at home and used to bring the same flowers to her. And with that connection, she went into that stress that she could not control her emotions, and she started crying bitterly about it. So this is how at times our stress is connected, and it is other way around as well. If you are feeling at times a bit uncomfortable, so you can remember and you can even observe few people that when they are stressed, they eat a lot and they start eating. And at times when our exams are going on, if you remember yourself as a childhood, without even eating, we at times start putting on weight, or stress works to that level. And if you see that many a times, this is also said by the medical or the sciences of medicine sciences, that stress can be worse to that level where you can even get a chance to fall sick, having chronic diseases. So that's why managing stress since right from the beginning is very important. So stress tolerance, if overall you can talk about how you can balance it, you can go for some exercise, and at times, although I agree that we speak a lot about work life balance, it is difficult to do that. So, what we can do, give yourself short breaks. Take these throughout the day, as well as at least half an hour away from the desk at lunch. Spend some time outside if you can, then take some time off. Off time is other than holidays, you can even take 2 hours just early in the morning. Go for a small walk. It is not meant always that you go for 2 hours walk or a 1 hour walk or even for half an hour walk. Just go for 10 minutes and you will feel relaxed. Connect with nature. Nature relationship works a lot. And that is the best, is that if you have got a grassy plot outside your house, if it is not, then if you can drive near to the nearest place, go out there. And if nothing is there, sky is visible to everybody and is accessible to all of us. So sky is the best connect. Just look up, talk to the sky, share your worries, tell the sky in a way, and in that way indirectly you are actually approaching your creator. You are talking to him and telling him your worries. Talk to him, and that talk is going to really give you a lot of relaxation when you will ease out. And you, even if somebody thinks or feels that you are talking, it is a self talk, so let it be. And the best part nowadays, that we all know that you are using bluetooth and might be talking to somebody, so let them think. But you give yourself the same relaxation, and it is a must thing. Please do that at least 10 minutes early in the morning, or even if you want to go out late at night, look up and talk to stars. Do that. It will really help you, because this is the nature. We are being made by the creator, and if whenever you are doing your connect with the person, with that power, with that with the creator, so it helps, and then only things are fixed. A very good example is the gadgets. Mobile phone is a gadget. Your products which you are working on, your projects, that is your thing. Even your presentation is your thing. You are working on it. If you want to improve, only you can do that, because you have got your own brain, you have got your own thoughts which will support you to do the things the way you look forward. So support yourself, talk to yourself. And if I ask you, certainly I did one small activity earlier also, but I always say that speak to yourself. And to be very honest, today only, if you look in the mirror and talk to yourself and praise yourself, thank yourself, you are the best creation of the universe, and we should be proud of that. Your creator, our creator, has made you special. No, none of us is alike, right? We all have got nose, but it is different. We all have got 5 fingers in our hand, but all are different. You have different hand print, I have got different hand print. So we are unique. We should be proud of our own self. Why to feel down? There is nothing that can make you feel uncomfortable unless and until you do it to yourself. Talk to yourself, make yourself understand that you did your best and you are doing your best. Yes, there is a perception, there is a thought which is different. This example is for you. Look at the person who had the good intentions of planning a surprise birthday party for an old lady. Was that intention a bad intention? Not at all. It was a good intention. They thought about it, that they should be giving the best to that lady so that she feels good about it, she feels relaxed. But what happened to that, the response? It was completely opposite, which they were not even expecting. But it is okay, no harm to that. We can make the other person realize that as well by talking more nicely. The harsh words. Even if a kid is crying, what do? Do we start crying with the kid? So what is the difference between you as an adult and the small little baby? You are both the same. So you have to be baby, but you don't have to be baby to that extent that you make him feel the same, make him realize the same. But you can try something else. Smile a little bit, condole the kid, and try to ease the kid. And at times, if you are in the same scenario, help yourself at your own. Talk to yourself. Name yourself and ask, what's wrong with you today? Are you the same guy whom I knew today morning? So yourself will tell you, no, I am not. Then ask yourself, are you in the world to do only make your life miserable? Then yourself is going to tell you, no, I am not. Talk to yourself and ask yourself a question. Is this the reason I am in here? Is this the reason I am have done my best, given given the best brought up by my parents or by my mentor? Was there something wrong? Yes, it can be. Why? Because you are not a perfect creation. You can have things which can be done in a better way. You can improve. You have brain. You have got such a brain which can adopt to new things. So give the new things a little try. Maybe your perspective was wrong at that time.